Alright guys, welcome to another beer review in the garden on an absolutely glorious day. It's my day off, just been out to my nan's and done the garden, so I think I deserve a beer after this. So I'm sat in the garden on the floor using my tripod with a slightly less unflattering angle than usual, but I just realised the sun's blazing down on me, so it probably looks like I've got my eyes closed at the moment. But anyway, we're going back over to Northern Monk, and this is another entry into their fantastic Patrons project, one of my favourite beer series. And this is 18.01, which is a collaboration called North Sea Sessions, which is brewed by Northern Monk, Fuerst Wiacek out of Germany. Always great to see a beer from those guys. And SOMA Beer Company, who I think are from Spain, if I remember correctly. Probably not. And this is part of a series they're doing with Sandy Kerr, who of course is the surfer. And yeah, so this is a session, double dry hop session IPA at 4.3% ABV, brewed with Citra, Mosaic, Nelson Sauvin, and yeah, clocking in at 440 mils. With the usual wonderful wraparound artwork, showing some absolutely stunning photography, and likewise on the inside. So let's quickly have a look at this now. So Fuerst Wiacek, modern Belgian craft beer brewery by Berlin-based gypsy brewer duo Georg Fuerst and Lukas Wiacek. SOMA beer, hop forward beers from Girona. Not too sure what else, or could it be Girona? I'm not too sure. Don't know why Spain sounds like the country they're from. I'm not too sure as to why I've come to that conclusion. And it's also brewed in collaboration with Finisterre, which is born from the needs of British cold water surfers. Finisterre builds the best and most sustainable product possible for those who share our love of the sea, B Corp certified. So it's always good to have those credited on the beers. And yeah, Sandy Kerr. The northeast coast isn't exactly the first place you would imagine a professional surfer being raised, but then Sandy Kerr isn't exactly your average pro surfer. Sandy has ventured from the jungles of Indonesia to the east coast of Taiwan, to the Hawaiian Islands, and to all corners of the European continent, all in the name of surfing. Picking up a few accolades along the way, Sandy has represented the UK at contests in the Far East, and picked up a few awards for his... Let me actually see something on camera as I read this. However, this real passion will always be big wave surfing. Unfortunately for Sandy, doesn't come without a few big wipeouts. Cutting his teeth in the harsh conditions of the North Sea, there is nowhere Sandy would rather catch those big waves than on home turf with the industrial backdrop of the North East. Sandy is a truly hardened northern professional surfer. And I'll just read you the quick description of the beer as well. Teaming up with the pro surfer Sandy Kerr, North Sea Sessions is all about recreating sun, sea and surf in beer form. We've kick-started the series with a double dry hop session IPA, the kind of beer you want to sit back, relax and embrace the one balmy summer night you got in the north of England. It was similarly a pleasure to team up with two of the great up-and-coming breweries from the continent, Fuerst Wiacek, based in Berlin, and SOMA, a small operation out of northern Spain. Got it right for once. And yeah, both of whom never failed to impress us. We decided to rarely challenge ourselves with a recipe for this low ABV collaboration. To bulk out the light body as much as possible, we used Vienna as our base malt for its chunky biscuit flavour, and added the highest percentage of specially adjunct grains that we've ever attempted, including oats, flaked wheat and chit malt, all with the goal of filling out the mouthfeel. In the boil we added unfermentable maltodextrin sugar, and then we hopped with the tropical intensity of Citra and Mosaic, backed up with the classic New Zealand variety Nelson Sauvin, full of its white wine characteristics of gooseberry, grape and lime. So yeah, Northern Patrons project, big fan of that, and yeah, it'd be good to try beer from SOMA, and the beers I've had from Fuerst Wiacek have been fantastic. So let's get this opened and see what we get, using my nice big track glass for this one. So I've had a couple of the sort of session pales and IPAs from Northern Monk in this Patrons project series, and they've always managed to have a really satisfying mouthfeel. because don't get me wrong, the idea of a session IPA is fantastic because you can drink it as much as you want to, if you want to. But a lot of the times the mouthfeel really isn't satisfying, so I'm looking forward to seeing how they've pulled this one off. And beer in the glass, not really seeing it properly in its best light because there's a bit of a shadow there. But yeah, lovely sort of bright chicken stock looking beer almost. It's got a luminance to it, but it gets a little bit paler around the edges, but there's like a really nice bulk in the middle of the glass. But yeah, it looks like freshly squeezed lemon juice as well. Juicy, that's what you expect with these beers, and the beer poured for about 1 finger's worth of a white head. So let's see what we get on the nose. And loads of citrus on this one. There's really big herbal characteristics going through as well. Stuff like, don't know what that noise was. Stuff like basil, parsley. There's a very subtle hint of spice. It's not too sweet. There's a very subtle dank edge there. But yeah, it smells like freshly squeezed fruit juice, like genuine fruit juice. A little bit of orange in there, tangerine, subtle hint of pink grapefruit. Of course you get those tropical flavours like mango, kiwi, that sort of stuff. But I'd say it's more herbal and citrusy. Really intriguing. It's got a very subtle savoury edge to it, which makes it taste like if you've ever had like a herb garden and you've just got all the stuff there. There's something so satisfying about smelling like freshly picked parsley and stuff like that. It's just so, it just warms the soul fantastically. And yes, I look like shit today because I've been doing heavy duty garden work. I got myself a nice £20 note for it, so money well earned and beer well earned. So it smells fantastic as you would expect, so let's give it a taste. Cheers guys. Straight away, that mouthfeel is just wonderful. It's got the mouthfeel of like an upper 6 to 7, maybe even 8% IPA, going into that double IPA territory. It's so chewy. It's got like a fluffiness about it. A little bit of a little bit of a dry finish, but loads of fruit flavour. God, that's absolutely wonderful actually. That is so damn good. I mean, that being said, 4.3% it's not really the lightest, but it doesn't feel like a 4.3% beer. It feels a little bit heavier, loads of bulk on the body. So satisfying. There's just the right amount of acidity coming through, so you get that lemon juice character, but then you get fluffy, juicy mango, lovely pink grapefruit sweetness as well. Very subtle resiny edge. Those herbal tones are coming through as well. Almost has like a chive character. But the most satisfying part of this beer, as well as tasting absolutely gorgeous, is that body. It's just so good. So good. Now it's getting dead windy, so I'm probably getting all wind noise on the camera, but I don't care. I'm in a good place at the moment, so perfect beer to just unwind. Where's this wind coming from, by the way? Beautiful stuff. It's just another knockout beer from Northern Monk, and how could a car horn put me off? That wind is getting outrageous. But yeah, I've never had a beer from SOMA. I know how good Fuerst Wiacek have been with some of their beers. So I think you're getting that influence and know how. I mean, don't get me wrong, Northern Monk are probably they are my favourite UK brewery. I mean, I bought a 4-pack of Heathen the other day when I bought this when I went to Manchester to the Northern Monk bar, with the intention of putting those 4 cans away in the fridge and just drinking them at my leisure, and I drank them just within a few days. For a core range beer like that, so juicy, so plump, just so satisfying, and this is no exception. This is a wonderful beer that some people might miss out on because it's a session IPA. Although I think a lot more people are drinking session IPAs now, especially if you're doing a session. But yeah, I could just, for the rest of today, just crash out on the grass, look like a beached whale, but I'd be so happy with this. That's one of the best session IPAs that I've had from Northern Monk, and it makes me want to go out and buy beers from both Fuerst and SOMA, because it's just fantastic. What a gem, and I will definitely be following this series. As I'm recording this, well, actually tomorrow, Friday the 17th of May, they'll be releasing the next wave of beers brewed in collaboration with Tank Petrol, and they'll be going back to it was Equilibrium, and I can't remember, was it Other Half who they did the beer with, or was it a different brewery? I can't remember. So I need to get that. But yeah, I'll definitely be keeping an eye out on this series and the Patrons project, because it's just fantastic. So in terms of a rating, I throw the 10 out of 10 out there a hell of a lot. But right now, in this moment, as it's getting a little bit chillier, it's just ticking all the boxes for me, and I cannot fault it. That mouthfeel is just flawless. It really, really is. And I was saying at the start, it finishes a bit dry. It actually doesn't. That first taste was a little bit dry in the back end. But what I love about these beers, although juicy, fruity and sweet, you get a bitterness on the back end. And pair that with a body like that, in a beer like that, of that ABV. I think they've done an absolutely stellar job, and I'm really excited to see what the next beer is in this series. So if you have tried it, let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. Are you a fan of Northern Monk? Are you a fan of Northern Monk Patrons Project? Are you a fan of SOMA? Are you a fan of Fuerst Wiacek? If you're in the UK, please tell me where I can buy beers from both breweries, especially Fuerst, because I love German craft beer, as you guys know. And yeah, 10 out of 10. It might not be a 10 out of 10 for you. You might agree with me, but that's it. You don't have my palate, so stop judging me. There's a cat over there. Anyway, so I'm off to go play with someone's cat. The can's just blown over. It's starting to get really windy, so I better cut this video short. So thank you guys for watching. Check out Northern Monk, check out all the breweries involved, check out my Patrons Project playlist, and yeah, give me your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. So thank you guys for watching, and I shall hopefully see you all later. Cheers.